mentioned about the $3 billion? I can just check.
Take care, Nico.
You mentioned about the $3 billion in aid that the U.S. gives to Israel annually. Is that entirely military aid?
Yes, because you know, with the destruction of manufacturing in the United States of America, the only thing we produce, although a lot of the stuff is produced in China and around the world, is weapons. And we have to subsidize with taxpayer money these big weapons companies. So we give military aid, meaning to buy American weapons. So the people who make Apache helicopters make out like bandits, or Consolidated Systems, Inc., you know? They don't have the same sales to the Mubarak regime, excuse me, the new military regime in Egypt that they had to the old Mubarak regime. So they have to make up for it. So they got to have all those tear gas canisters, and I got to see them. And you know, there are a lot of American grenades, but all these weapons, we have to pay for them. Barack goes and he sells weapons to Saudi Arabia and weapons to India, right? And he says it's great for American jobs. And I will just say, Barack, if you expect him not to be the president of the empire, I mean, the fact this guy does some good things really blows me away. You know, I didn't get upset with him the way other people, including my wife, did, because I know from American imperialism. I have never thought America, I mean, the only two good acts in foreign policy that I can remember in my adult lifetime are the taking out of bin Laden, which would have been better if they captured him and tried to apply the rule of law, which is beyond the United States at this point, and possibly the intervention in Libya, which at least seems to have prevented Gaddafi from slaughtering the rats, as he put it, so at least there's an argument about it. And otherwise, just about every American military intervention, I was born at the end of World War II, so I could go back to Nazism. So maybe, but as I said, my adult lifetime. Maybe Carter's attempt to rescue the hostages. But, you know, they're only, you know, it's not many. Every other thing America's done is bad, militarily.
Time for two more questions.
Um,
John and then Rob.
Do you think that it would be a good thing, over here, that it would be a good thing for Iran to get a nuclear weapon to counterbalance Israel? And if you don't think so, how should the world prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon?
Well, I actually don't think it's a good idea for Iran to get a nuclear weapon. But on the other hand, there was a nuclear rivalry between the U.S. and the Soviet Union, which could have gone to nuclear war during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And Chomsky has recently written very well on this, and if you haven't read it, Google Noam Chomsky on this and read what he said. So the idea that having a nuclear weapon is a sufficient reason for blowing up the world when the U.S. has the greatest number of nuclear weapons in the world, and Israel is sitting on 300 to 500 nuclear weapons, seems remarkably stupid. The idea that we should, you know, maybe there should be a boycott to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. On the other hand, as far as it goes, A, their supreme leader has said it was a sin, so maybe they think that. B, they haven't waged aggression against anybody there. And the U.S. has had two recent aggressions and occupations and is withdrawing from them, and Israel has more battles than one can mention easily. So I would just say that the hysteria about Iran, yeah, the people who run Iran aren't nice. The Green Revolution is a great thing. I'm all for the Green Revolution. I think we should support such things from below. Arab Spring might have helped that. The U.S. wasn't busy intervening, trying to turn the nonviolent movement into something which was more amenable to American intervention. So I would be very careful about recommending doing nasty things to Iran because they're striving to get a nuclear weapon myself. I think this whole thing is an American mania which has to do with controlling the world and not very intelligently.
One last question, I think, and then we're going to have some time for those who haven't.
There seem to be two at the moment.
Okay.
So let them be.
Yeah, we need to hear from the lady in the green.
No, the guy in the green. Long hair, you can't tell with us guys.